This day in Philly sports history is proud to be a part of the Clashing Conferences Sports Fan Network, where passionate fans make powerful content. Check out theclashingconferences.com and join the squad today. What's up, everyone? Welcome to this day in Philly sports history for July 28th, 2026. I'm your host, Jim Montgomery. Welcome to a Tuesday edition of the podcast. Happy training camp reporting day to everyone out there. Before we get into that, let's get into Tuesday motivation / positivity brought to you by the Clashing Conferences Sports Fan Network. You heard the bumper on the way in. Check out theclashingconferences.com, see how you can join the squad today. And of course, we here are proud members at this day of Philly sports history. And this one, I stumbled across this one, but it's an old one that I have kind of tried to live for years. Since my senior year of high school, I went to a open house for, I believe it was Lehigh University, with a good friend of mine. Just as more support. I wasn't interested in going to Lehigh, but just walking around talking with some people. The guy said basically the same thing as this quote, but what we call luck is often not purely random, but rather the delayed byproduct of consistently putting yourself into good positions. And essentially, this guy told me, and what I think this is saying is, luck doesn't exist. We say it all the time. Oh, that person's so lucky, or that person's not lucky, or my luck ran out. But did it? Because a lot of times we hear a lot about luck when it comes to like the lottery or something like that. But that's more chance than anything. That's just random. I mean, I guess if you want to call it lucky like that, you could. But that's more chance. To me, luck is 100% being prepared when the opportunity presents itself. Now, you never know when that opportunity is going to come. You never know when it's going to come on the door, ring your doorbell, and say, "Hey, I'm here." So you always have to be ready for it. So you do the work, you build a strong foundation, and essentially create your own luck. If you do the work and build that foundation, and then you're patient, and you're aware. I think this is the most important part. You have to be aware. You have to kind of know what's going on around you. So when that opportunity comes, you're able to take advantage of it. And I firmly and strongly believe that. I look at people in my friends group, my family, those that have become successful, and it's not due to luck. It's due to being a hard worker, being prepared when the opportunity comes. I mean, I've heard people say I'm lucky because of the experiences I've been able to have through this podcast. Guess what? Put a shitload of work into this thing. So definitely being able to take advantage of those opportunities when they come. Hopefully that is something you can go and take throughout your weeks, and don't wait for luck to happen to you. Go out there, set the foundation, so when that opportunity comes, you're able to knock down the door and take advantage of it. And again, this goes all the way back to that guy from the recruiting office at Lehigh University who told me that there's no such thing as luck. You create your own luck through hard work. And it's kind of one of those mantras I tend to try to live by. Everything I've gotten, I've had to work hard for it. And because I was prepared when those opportunities came, I've been able to take advantage of it. So that is Tuesday motivation / positivity, brought to you by the Clashing Conferences Sports Fan Network. Go to clashingconferences.com to see how you can join the squad today. And of course, here, Brotherly Birds break down the Philly Hall. Everything I do, I am a proud member of the Clashing Conferences Sports Fan Network. All right, well, you could say the Phillies were unlucky last night, but they just were not prepared when the opportunity came. Brutal game last night, and it was a weird and funky game. they jump out early, and then Wheeler just did not have it, left after 3 innings. I'll be honest, I'm a little concerned. Everybody's saying he's fine. I read somewhere he might have been a little sick. I sure hope so, because if he is injured, that is a crushing blow. I mean, there's no other way to sugarcoat that. It would be a crushing blow if Zach Wheeler misses extended time. I think then Duran, after the Phillies battled back and took a lead, blew a save for only the second time this season. Very un-Duran-like. Like I said, just a weird game, and they were able to battle back offensively during that game. Defensively, geez, this team is bad. They are bad. I don't know. And I guess where we stand right now, we're less than a week away from the trade deadline. Are we concerned with the Phillies, or is this just, as they always like to say, the past 5 years or 4 years, that's just baseball? Is this one of those that's just baseball moments, or do we have cause to be legitimately concerned? And if this team could ever put together a full game, all three, like starting pitching, bullpen, offense, defense, all of that, they'd be dangerous. But again, the offense was there, and then the bullpen was there, and then your 2 studs let you down. It's just this team. I can't. It's the enigma that is this Phillies team, and I feel like they've been an enigma like this for since 2022. But they're back at it tonight. But let me know your thoughts. Should we be concerned? 267-495-8531. That's the Back to the Future voice and text line. Ordinarily, I'm like, it's just baseball. But the way they've played the past couple weeks, I'm more in the concern camp. And I sure hope, and I heard them talking about this on the radio yesterday, and I sure hope this isn't true. But just like they were waiting for Topper to get fired, I hope they're not waiting for the next trade deadline move. And I get they're humans, and some of them are trying to figure out and wonder, but I don't know. I'm starting to get concerned. My spidey senses are starting to tingle. The antenna are going up on my head. But what do you think? Hit me up on the Back to the Future voice and text line and let me know your thoughts on the Phils. But it is Eagles camp day. They report to camp. No practices today. I don't think so. They'll practice in full tomorrow, but can't wait. I've never been more. I shouldn't say never been more, but one of the most excited I've been for an Eagles season in recent memory. Just to see the new offense. I think that to me is the biggest question mark. I think I'm looking forward to seeing how the receiver room shakes out. I'm looking forward to seeing how healthy the offensive line is, who's going to step up, who's going to play safety, like what the rotations are going to look like. What does Vic Fangio have dialed up in year 3 now? So lots of, like I said, lots of intrigue for a team that has Super Bowl aspirations. There certainly are a lot to watch. Whether or not that translates into preseason games, we'll see. But I am pumped. Eagles report to training camp today. I guess the biggest question is whether or not Jalen Carter's going to hold out. He had his hold in for the mini camps. Whether or not the Eagles are going to sign him, I guess that's the biggest thing. We don't get them too often under Howie Roseman. So I'm anxious to see how he responds, how the team responds, and what the resolution of that is going to be going forward. But training camp, it's one of those bittersweet days for me as an educator, because now school's right around the corner, but it's football. It's football. And of course, Kyle and I get you ready and broke down what we're looking for in training camp on the Brotherly Birds Breakdown. Go check that out if you haven't already, wherever you get your podcasts, as well as on YouTube. We had some fun talking about some of the off-season things that happened, as well as what we are expecting from training camp as well. Go into a little bit more detail of some of the things I just mentioned. And of course, sometimes the sports talk stations and Philly sports Twitter and all that stuff, sometimes you guys drive me crazy. The big story yesterday was, of course, LeBron James officially signed. He's going to wear number 23. Everybody was talking about him living in New York. Can I be honest with you? I don't care where he lives. I really don't. He can live on the moon and take a space shuttle into the FU or Xfinity Mobile Arena every day. I don't care. Like, is this really what we're worried about? Like, where LeBron James is going to live? Like, it's like we can't have nice things. Like, this isn't everybody, but there was a large percentage on Twitter calling in the radio. Like, I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. JJ Redick lived in New York. Everybody loved him. Wilt Chamberlain lived in New York. He came to a game hungover after partying in New York and scored 100 points. Like, who cares where the guy lives? Like, I can't. And it's just like, okay, I get that some people don't like LeBron James. I am not a LeBron James fan. I never was. I never will be. But from my team's perspective, yes, he is what this Sixers team needed in this moment. So why not? I think we got to get over the whole thing. Yes, we love our players, and that's been what sports has been about for all of its history, making connections with the players. This isn't the 80s anymore. This isn't the 60s, the 70s, hell, even the 90s. It is a business. These guys are looking for money. These guys are looking to win championships. And as fans, that's what we want. And then the other thing is, oh, he's ring chasing. I can't believe this. Dude is going to be 42 years old, has more money than you could probably ever need in your lifetime. Like generation upon generational wealth. The dude came to our team to try to win another championship. And if that's wrong, I mean, I hate to say it like this, but I don't want to be right. Like, we have a chance to win a championship. And we players come and go. Do you know how many players for all four of the major teams that I've liked, I've seen come and go over the years? It's a different time period. It's a different game now. So maybe he is ring chasing. So what? I'd rather ring chase, and I mentioned this yesterday, ring chase than money grab. So again, I just don't get it. It's like we can't have nice things. Why? Why does it matter where he lives? Why does it matter if he ring chases? Why? He's trying to chase a ring for our team. Like, I just don't get the mindset and mentality of some people sometimes. And it drives me absolutely crazy. And I know it's slightly different, but we just talked about Darren Dalton getting traded to the Marlins back in 1993. We were happy for him that he won a championship. Reggie White, yes, that was a slightly different situation as well. But a lot of people, for all intents and purposes, knew, okay, he wasn't going to win a ring in Philly. Go get your ring, Reggie. Like, guys do this all the time. And we have a guy that came to our team to chase a ring. Like, I could see if the Sixers were having the recent success of like the Eagles, where they've won 2 in the past 8-9 years. We haven't won one since 1983. Come chase away. Like, I just don't get it. I would love to hear your thoughts on that as well. Because maybe I'm missing something, but I don't care if he goes into Wawa and gets his coffee on the way in, or if he's on a private helicopter flying down south from New York. I don't care. I really don't care, as long as he's showing up game night and helping this team win a championship. Who cares? Who cares? 267-495-8531. Let me know your thoughts on where LeBron James lives. Like, sometimes some of the fan base, I just don't get it. I don't get it at all. But if you are in that camp, let me know why it's a bad thing. Help me to understand and see your point of view, because I don't see it. To me, it's just disguised hatred for LeBron James. All right, yesterday's trivia question. Kyle Schwarber holds the Phillies single-game RBI record with 9. He did it August of last year, the night he hit 4 home runs in a game. Be sure to follow me on all social media platforms at Philly Jimbo. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Philly Jimbo, as well. And light me up on Twitter if you want with some of these takes. I would love, like I said, let's go back and forth. I'm going to be sitting in meetings all day for work in the main office. Let's go. I mentioned the Brotherly Birds breakdown, but more importantly, spread the word. If you're listening to this and enjoying it, likely someone in your network will as well. So do me a solid, like, subscribe, and then tell a friend and tell that friend to tell two friends. Want to show off your Philly pride without saying a word? Philly Goat has you covered. From tees, hoodies, shoes, and hats, their gear screams Philly louder than an Eagles fan at the vet. Whether you're tailgating in South Philly or trying to flex down the Jersey Shore, do it in style. Hit up phillygoat.com, use the promo code Jim Montgomery, and get 10% off your order. Philly Goat, because being Philly ain't a choice, it's a way of life. Go Birds! All right, July 28th. Now the training camp's here. We're going to start. We got a couple more weeks of just Philly stuff, but we should get some more stuff coming in soon. And nothing against the Phillies, but this is the hardest time of the year to come up with content for this and still make it entertaining. But it's a little peek behind the curtain for you. But first, let's go back to 1951. On this day in 1951, Phillies beat the Cubs 1-0 out at Wrigley Field. Richie Ashburn knocked in the Phils' only run. Russ Meyer was on the mound that day for the Phils, and he pitched the shutout for the Phillies. It was their fourth consecutive shutout. Pretty impressive. And then they would actually extend that scoreless inning streak to 41 consecutive innings the next day before giving up runs in the sixth inning of that game against the Cubs. That tied a team record, but 4 straight shutouts for the Phillies. They would extend the scoreless inning streaks to 41 before finally giving up a run, winning 1-0 on this day out at Wrigley Field. And that does lead us into today's trivia question. Let's flip the script. Phillies' longest consecutive shutout streak for them is 41 innings. What is the Phillies' record for getting shut out in consecutive innings? Hit me up on the Back to the Future voice and text line, the Discord channel, any of my social media. But how many consecutive innings is the Phillies' team record of them not scoring a run? Yeah, we'll go the opposite end of the spectrum on that one. All right, a little bit of a somber note here. In 1962, a Pennsylvania Railroad train called the Phillies Express was carrying like 700 passengers, including dozens of little leaguers, to Connie Mack Stadium for the Phillies game. They were coming in from Central PA, from the Harrisburg area. The train departed from Harrisburg. Unfortunately, 4 miles into the trip, it crashed, killing 19 people and injuring 105 when 3 cars derailed and crashed into the Susquehanna River. Unfortunately, the Phillies, because of the technology at the time, did not receive the news of this until well after the game had been started. They did play that game, beating the Pirates 9-2, but just a tragic event. I remember hearing stories about this when I was younger, but the Phillies Express departed from Harrisburg 4 miles in, derailed, and 3 cars crashed into the Susquehanna River, killing 19, injuring 105. A tragic, tragic event indeed. And then fast forward to 1993, Terry Mulholland gave up a grand slam in the top of the first, but the Phillies were led by Darren Daulton's career-high 6 RBI, battled back. Daulton led the way with a 2-run triple and a grand slam of his own as the Phillies beat the Cardinals 14-6 to increase that lead to 6 games in the NL East. One of the few times both teams hit a grand slam in a game, but that happened on this day in 1993. Darren Daulton with a career-high 6 RBI. And then one of my favorite moments, 2002, Harry Kalas was honored with the Ford C. Frick Award at the Hall of Fame ceremonies up in Cooperstown. One of the best, if not the best, to ever do it. Certainly, I think it's a short list, probably between he and Merle Reese as the best broadcasters in Phillies history. I know some of the old guys will mention Bill Campbell, who was good in his own right. I remember hearing people talk about By Sam as well. But for my money, Harry Kalas is the best to ever do it, and he was honored today, or on this day in 2002, with the Ford C. Frick Award. Going into, it's weird. It's not necessarily a Hall of Famer, but he is honored in the Hall of Fame. They always make that distinction clear. And then 8 years later in 2010, Phillies beat the Diamondbacks 7-1. Carlos Ruiz with 2 doubles and 3 RBI on the mound that day. Rory Halladay pitched his 8th complete game of the year, striking out 9, giving up 1 run and no walks. He earned pitcher of the month for the month of July, going 3-1 with a 1.54 ERA, 37 strikeouts, and 3 walks. This game also is known for being Dominic Brown's debut. Dom went 2 for 3 with a double and a 2 RBI. We should have traded that guy when we had the chance. Now, for all intents and purposes, I know he's a nice guy. I know he still lives in the area. He does a lot with youth baseball and everything. But man, talk about not living up to the hype. He had a 6-week stretch in 2011 where he was just outstanding. Made the All-Star team, but just think about what we could have gotten to replenish our farm system with him. But Dom Brown makes his debut on this day in 2010. Ray Halladay pitches his 8th complete game. Like that, just saying that just sounds bizarre to me with the way pitchers are today. 8th complete game of the season in the end of July. Insane. All right, and then finally today, we continue our Elite 8 matchups in our Greatest Phillies High School Hoops Figure Tournament. Tournament is brought to you by Beach Caddy. Go to beachcaddy.app. If you're in Stone Harbor, Sea Isle, Avalon, Wildwood, or Ocean City, let them take the stress out of your Jersey Shore vacation. They'll move you in, move you out, and of course, the best beach carts on the Jersey Shore. Go to beachcaddy.app. Use the promo code Jim Montgomery to take 10% off your move in, move out, as well as your beach cart rentals. And then yesterday's results, no shock. I guess the only shock for me was that it was 100%, but Wilt Chamberlain moves on to the Final Four, beating Kyle Lowry in what turned out to be a rout. So setting up, Wilt is ready to go in the Final Four. Today, this is a doozy of a matchup. We go to the North Regional, the regional final. Dawn Staley versus Rasheed Wallace, number 1 versus number 2. Let's start with Dawn. She went to Dobbins, started as a sophomore. She helped lead them to a 60-game undefeated streak. 3-time Public League champion, USA Today Player of the Year, Parade All-American, All-Public League. She won the Mark Wood Award. Her number 5 is retired at Dobbins. From there, she went to the University of Virginia, where she was ACC Rookie of the Year, 3-time All-ACC, 3-time All-American, 2-time National Player of the Year, led the Cavaliers to 3 Final Fours, winning the national championship and the most outstanding player of the tournament. Went to the ABL after a few years overseas. In the ABL, she was a 2-time All-Star and went to the WNBA when it was formed, where she was a 6-time All-Star. She's on their 10th and 15th anniversary teams. Then she got into coaching. Well, also, she won 3 gold medals as a player as well. Then got into coaching, coached my house, helped turn that program around, and then went to South Carolina, where she's a 3-time national champion and counting. She is in the Naismith Women's Hall of Fame, the FIBA Hall of Fame, the Philadelphia Sports Hall of Fame, and also has won a gold medal as a coach. So Dawn Staley is the 1 seed out of the North, taking on Rasheed Wallace, who went to Gratz. He also is a 3-time Public League champion, went to 4 Public League championship games, helped Gratz win their first Public League championship since 1939. 1993 helped them to a 31-0 record. They were recognized as the national champion as being the number 1 team in the country. He was Mr. Basketball USA, a 2-time Parade All-American, a McDonald's All-American, one of the top 3 recruits in the nation. Went to UNC, where he was an All-ACC freshman, first-team All-ACC, second-team All-American, helped lead the Tar Heels to the Final Four, and his number 30 is retired at UNC. He was the number 4 pick in the draft, did win a championship with the Detroit Pistons, a 4-time All-Star. He's in the Michigan and Philadelphia Sports Hall of Fame, and did some assistant coaching as well in the NBA. Now it's your turn. Who moves on to represent the North Regional in the Final Four? Is it Dawn Staley or Rasheed Wallace? Who is the greatest Philly high school hoops figure? Get your votes in any way you can. Back to the Future Voice and text line, social media, Discord, which is the link is in the description, text message, whatever you got to do. Get that vote in. Dawn Staley versus Rasheed Wallace. On this day in 2010, Don Brown made his major league debut. Roy Halladay pitched his 8th complete game of the season as the Phillies beat the D-backs 7-1. Harry Kalas received the Ford C. Frick Award on this day in 2002. Darren Daulton had a career-high 6 RBI on this day in 1993 and a wild one against the Cardinals. 1962, the Phillies Express crashed and killing 19 people, injuring 100 plus more on their way to celebrate, take little leaguers to Connie Mack Stadium to see the Phillies beat the Pirates. And in 1951, Phillies get their 4th straight shutout, beating the Cubs 1-0. Richie Ashburn knocking in the only run. We will update you on anything out of camp, specifically if Jalen Carter comes into camp. Any of your LeBron James Sixers news as well. Can the Phillies bounce back tonight against the Marlins? God, I hope so. Lots to talk about on the Back to the Future voice and text line, though. Should we be concerned about the Phillies? What are your concerns about the Eagles going into camp? And, of course, how do you feel about LeBron living in New York? I don't care. I just don't care. I don't care. I don't. And hopefully, as you go through your weeks, remember, you can create your own luck through hard work and being prepared for when opportunity knocks. So don't rely and just wait for something to happen to you. Go out there and create it yourselves. This has been This Day in Philly Sports History for July 28th, 2026. My name is Jim Montgomery. Go have yourselves a Tuesday. And until next time, I'll see you when I see you.